Welcome back to Season 3 of Driving Performance. I'm your co-host, Tom Shea, the co-founder and CEO of Agile Media Group.
And I am your co-host, Max Flannery, co-founder and president of Agile Media Group.
We're excited to introduce our next guest, Yair Tygiel. Yair is a New York-based entrepreneur known for founding coconut-themed ventures and advancing ag tech. He co-founded Coco & Co. and now SUNBOY Spiked Coconut Water. Really excited. We've known each other for years. Yair, welcome to Driving Performance.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thanks.
Awesome. So I like to ask the same question of all of our guests at the very beginning. For our audio-only listeners, how would you describe what is happening right now?
We are in a glass cube just south of Union Square, just north of Washington Square Park, with dozens of people walking around staring at us, recording a podcast.
Love it. All right, so as this is a truck, our podcast is a theme. There's going to be a few stops along our route. So stop 1 is the personal story, all things a year before SUNBOY and Coco & Co. Stop 2 is the professional story. We're going to dive deep on, I'd say, the founding story and maturation arc of SUNBOY, its rise to power. And then stop 3 is a game we call the Hot Box, a tongue-in-cheek ripoff of the Hot Seat, a this or that style question game. And then stop 4 will be the outro. We'll send you along your way. We'll wrap the show. You ready to rock?
Let's go.
All right, Yair, where are you from?
Born in Jerusalem, grew up in Massachusetts, then moved to California, spent that until I was 21 in California, then moved to New York. Have been here for 19 years.
19
years. Came on a 3-month internship and never went back.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about early days.
Let's do it.
So tell us about like your upbringing, your family, that whole story.
Incredible family, super supportive, loving. Both of my parents were in education. They were professors. My dad was a professor at Tufts University in Massachusetts, and then transferred to Stanford. And we ended up landing in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So grew up surrounded by entrepreneurship, surrounded by people who were building really beautiful, exciting things, and the kids of those people. Ended up going to UC Santa Cruz, which is just on the beach over there. So I had a very hippie, fun
SUNBOY, it does track.
Exactly. Studied, did a double major of political science and Latin American history. Was really passionate in movement building and organizing and community building.
Yeah.
Which brought me to New York. I worked for the Drug Policy Alliance. I had an internship with them, and it was a 3-month internship that ended up turning into a full-time job, where the real root of it was keeping people out of prison, focused on drug policy reform, and they're the secret hand behind a lot of the legalization movements in the U.S. and a lot of the progressive thinking about criminal justice and drug policy.
Yeah, and so before we get too far down that path, tell us about your family. So you said your father wasn't. Both your parents were educators.
Both my parents educators. My mom ran summer camps and then elementary and middle schools, and my dad was in higher ed, and then ended up moving before they both retired. Ended up moving to work also in middle and elementary and middle schools.
Okay. Well, what for while your dad was at Tufts and Stanford, what was the area of expertise?
So they're very much in the international relations world. So he's all about history and the way that history actually affects our present day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then what about tell us about those early years for Yair. You moved around a lot.
Moved around a ton.
So I'm curious what impact that had on your life. And then, the path you've charted feels kind of different. I'm trying to pull out, what are the early influences and things that may or may not, honestly, could have been exclusionary, have brought you to where you are today?
I think there's 2 main things that pop into my head when you ask that question. The first is we moved around a lot, which you mentioned.
Right.
And I, as a founder, am in the market 7 days a week. I'm out on the road. I literally just drove up from Richmond, Virginia today to New York. Being nimble and able to kind of be a chameleon in every different environment and be comfortable with that perpetual motion is something that is challenging for a lot of people, but actually energizes me. So I'm going on now almost 3 years of just running with the business. I think that has a lot to do with my parents and the way that they were so comfortable taking us, just moving all around, interacting with new people, and we always had an open house. So
Yeah.
like the house we had one of those Mr. Ed doors, if you're familiar
Sure,
with it,
yeah.
in Palo Alto, and I just remember like my mom's Jewish, my
Yeah.
dad's atheist, but we had Shabbat dinners every Friday, and it was open door, so we had all of the neighborhood kids,
Oh, I love it.
all of their friends would just show up and eat my mom's delicious food.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fancy house; it was a little like shack in the entry to the neighborhood, but the door was open and everybody was there.
Yeah.
And I think that really guided my desire to be social and community oriented, and it really it translated into the businesses that I've built, where they're all about how we're going to connect with each other in real life, like how we're going to really come together as a community.
Yeah, totally. And all right, so Dad was at Tufts, Stanford. You went to UC Santa Cruz. I mean, what
I love Santa Cruz. It's where I spend all my time.
it's
and
great city.
It's just so beautiful. So I ended up going to Santa Cruz, and then the fall semester of my sophomore year, I took off and I hitchhiked from San Francisco to Honduras for 6
No
months.
way.
All right, hold on. We're going to that.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to study Latin American studies. I had a professor, Kent Eaton. Shout out to Kent Eaton.
Shout out Kent.
And he like opened my eyes to the history and political science in Mexico specifically, and I was like, I gotta go to Mexico. I gotta see it. And I ended up just straight up taking the trip. And I learned so much, specifically Spanish,
Yeah.
which was very helpful to study Latin American studies. But that was it. It was just like, I'm going.
And so did you end up, did you graduate?
Graduated on time.
Okay, got it. So tell us about that. We need to talk about that story. So what year is this? And then give me the play-by-play of how this shakes out. And what are your parents thinking at this point?
My parents are, I think that it goes without saying, they're the most supportive, like, loving parents.
Educators. This guy's like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
kind of done here. It's like, no.
They were confused.
Mhm.
They did not. I also didn't really have a great plan around it. But I'm like, I'm going south. I want to. I've already started down this path. I want to study Latin American history and political science. But if I don't understand it, if I'm not of the place, if I haven't gone there, what am I doing here?
There's so much to learn probably from that experience that you can't get in a textbook.
Exactly, and there was the opportunity to study abroad through the school, but all of the programs seemed really bland
Yeah.
to me. And I'm like,
Right.
I know how to travel.
Yeah.
Like, they taught me well.
Got some experience there.
Okay, so tell us how you traveled.
So-
What does hitchhiking look like?
Hitchhiking literally looks like that. It looks like that. It looks like that, where it looks like asking people that you meet for rides and being like,
you're
where are you
at a
going?
Restaurant
So,
or something.
Yeah, and you're like, where are you headed now? And I ended up having some unbelievable experiences.
How long was that experience, A to Z?
It was a 6-month trip.
Was this over a summer? Like, how'd you swing this?
It was the summer and then the fall semester. And then
Okay.
I got back for
Did you go into it knowing it was going to be 6 months?
No.
How long did you think? Just be a summer?
I didn't really think past,
Mhm.
I'm going to go to Mexico. I had a dream. This is actually embarrassing to say out loud, but I'll say it out loud anyways. I had a dream of making it to Chile. I was like,
Okay.
I'm going all the way down.
Yeah.
Did not make it that
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Did you
Well,
hitchhike back?
No, actually, I walked into the airport in Guatemala City and was like, I'd like to go home.
Enough's enough.
Yeah.
All right, so-
it's crazy though, because like looking back at it, it was 6 months. The entirety of the trip I spent $2,000, including the flight home.
Oh my
Totally.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a cross-country bike trip where I think I spent like less than $3,000 over 82 days. I learned
Insane.
so much about myself. So I guess before we leave that
Yeah.
specific experience, what did that teach you about yourself?
It reinforced a lot of things that I already kind of felt about myself, which is that I love people, that I get energized by being around people, that people's stories, people's experiences is like the fuel of life.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was it, and also just I have an absolute like deep love growing up in California. I guess that's probably part of it, but a deep love for Latin American culture and
Yeah.
food and music and just like everything about it.
Yeah.
Well, I would guess that you also learned, due to hitchhiking, that people are inherently kind.
Correct.
Yeah.
People are inherently kind and good, and especially if you look for that, if you seek that, you will
Right.
find it in abundance.
for sure.
All right, so let's go back to UC Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
You're back there after hitchhiking. You're probably like, what the, like, man, that was so fun and cool. But now you're back in school.
Yeah.
So, like, how does that part of your life, how do you tie the bow on that?
So, the my time at UC Santa Cruz was amazing. A bunch of incredible professors, and I was coming towards the end, and I wanted to get into, specifically, like, I got to study under Angela Davis. Shout out Angela Davis, and have always been, and still am to this day, like a pretty prison abolitionist. And so I was like, who's working on criminal justice reform in a really profound way? And I got connected through a friend to this Drug Policy Alliance, and ended up working directly with the executive director in New York. Got to like spend what ended up being like 3 years with him, with that team. It was only supposed to be 3 months, but that brought me to New York, where all of my California friends had moved. I was like in my early 20s, and I'm like, I'm gonna go and work in tech. And I worked for some really cool early stage startups.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I just realized, I mean, it was diverse. I worked in ed tech for a bit. I worked in data analytics for retail with a really cool company with some people that I knew growing up. But the like thread through it all was like, I wanted to build stuff that I was proud of. And like the ones where we were building something that would really like, there was value and people were excited about it, were super fulfilling to me.
Right.
And the projects where it was vaporware, or where it was where we were selling something that we
more of a cash grab type of thing.
I really could not hang with. It's not for me.
Yeah. And so you have the stint in tech. Where does that bring us next?
So stint in tech, early 2010s. I'm dating this girl, her best friend. I meet this guy. His name is Luke McKenna. Shout out Luke McKenna.
Shout out Luke.
Co-founder.
Well, we'll get to Luke.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But so we meet and we start talking about dumb ideas we have, and like I think one thing that I've always shout out dumb ideas.
Shout out dumb ideas.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I will say, I mean, it goes hand in hand with the comfort and discomfort and adventure, like choosing adventure over comfort. I love dumb ideas as a source of inspiration. I think
I agree.
Lean into dumb. We're in the back of a glass truck. This is a good dumb idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I love business cases and thinking about them critically, and like they don't need to be perfect, but it's fun to work that muscle.
Yes.
And like try to poke holes and try to like take both sides of the coin and try to validate them.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, if you're trying to be too intelligent, it's hard to be creative.
Yeah.
Correct.
Agreed. All right. So.
Well said.
So does that get us to Luke?
That gets me to Luke.
All right,
so
let's talk about Luke.
So Luke and I are in a basement. It's Hurricane Sandy.
Okay.
We're in
What year's that?
2012.
2012. Okay.
And we're talking about dumb ideas. We have Luke as a journalist. He was a great journalist, but working for a mega Australian
monolith
journalist. Yes, that he was not super happy with. It shall remain nameless. And we were talking about dumb ideas we had, and both of us coincidentally had experiences with coconuts. He actually had moved from Australia to Toronto before he made it to New York, and he set up a coconut stand in Kensington Market in Toronto to connect with people. So like for him, coconuts were this like silly tool to
hook.
Silly hook, exactly. Yeah. When I moved to New York, it was the same thing. I had my first coconut in Chinatown. And I was like, oh my god, these things are delicious.
In Chinatown?
Like Chinatown coconuts.
Wow, we love that.
Yeah,
My girlfriend goes to Chinatown once a week and picks up 7 coconuts, drinks one every morning.
She's my lady. She's my kind of lady. That's awesome.
She's not next.
Yeah.
She's not next. Get her on here.
I'll call her.
That's awesome. So I was super excited about sharing this like discovery that I had, which is that Chinatown had amazing coconuts. And I ended up buying a bunch of coconuts and going to Prospect Park, setting up a pyramid with some friends, and anybody who would come by that we wanted to connect with would be like, come have a coconut cocktail.
Yeah.
So I shared this with Luke, and he's like, we should do it. And I was like, we should do what? He's like, we should start a coconut company. I'm like, that makes no sense. And we're like, we're on an island. We were a little drunk. It was in the basement of this bar.
That's right. Agile was drunk in a corner at a party for
there
sure.
You go.
Creativity, right? We talked
yes.
about where it comes from.
You gotta be a little dumb. So we were like, we know that we're on an island, but nobody celebrates New York as an island, right? Nobody celebrates the fact that we're like,
where's the tiki bar?
Where's the tiki?
Where is the tiki bar?
And so me and Luke built a bamboo coconut bike. A tiki bike is what we called it. It had 4 tiki torches on it, could hold 200 coconuts in a secret little bar compartment. Heavy as hell, it's like 500 pounds to ride this thing, and we would ride it to the middle of, the first time, we rode it to the middle of the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan pillar of the Brooklyn Bridge, turned it around, faced it back to the city as the sun was setting, and our friends who played drums and stomp came. They were drumming on the bridge, and we ended up throwing this incredible, like, 1-hour-long party. Didn't tell anybody. It was just for us.
Yeah.
Every single tourist was like, "Oh, this is such a New York experience."
Yeah.
This is not.
We're on an island.
Yeah,
we're on an island.
We were legitimately on the island. Like we were looking out over the East River. The sun was setting. It was absolutely beautiful. We were soaked in sweat, opening coconuts with a machete on the Brooklyn Bridge and mixing little cocktails for people. Got through all of them in no time. And as we were riding back down the bridge, and our friends were going back to Brooklyn on the drums, I was like, we got to do this again, man. This is a dream. So we started doing that more frequently. We started just throwing these like Brooklyn Bridge parties.
I mean, is there any monetization at this point in the journey?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
And so you're working.
We both had day jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both had day jobs. This was a night and weekend.
What was Luke? Was Luke still journaling?
Yeah, still a journalist.
Still journaling. All right, come on.
Is kind of
Get a couple SUNBOYs.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Well,
That might be the verb. I might be right.
You might be right. Yeah. But it varies the lead. Luke was still a journalist at the time, and I was still in tech. But on the nights and weekends, we were throwing these parties.
Did you have a name for the parties?
Well, at that point we already thought the root of the joke, by the way, when we were in the basement that day, was that what if all the and co's of every business actually stood for and coconut? So we were like, we should start a coconut, and coconut.
And
Coco and Co.
And
Which is the name of our business still to this day.
it's officially incorporated.
Officially incorporated Coconut, and Coconut LLC.
Did you reach out to Tiffany for a partnership?
Tiffany
and
and
Coconut? Yes.
Wow. Collab coming soon.
Yes, Tiffany and Coconut is awesome.
That might be a limited time drop.
Yeah, so we started Coco and Co. And we had our dear friend Nate Tate, shout out Nate Tate.
Shout out Nate.
Design a cool logo for us, which we still use to this day, which is like, it looks like the burn of the ring of a coconut with Coco and Co. And then we had this idea that if people are going to be drinking our photos and taking cute photos of themselves, because it's like relatively early days of Instagram,
Right.
they should be sharing our brand.
Right.
And so we ended up, first we started with ink stamps, and then we ended up maturing to a machine that we built that actually burned the art onto the coconut, starting with our logo, Coco & Co. Now, it very quickly became a thing where other brands were asking us, can you also burn our logo onto the coconut? And so...
Agile coconuts.
Agile coconuts. We ended up, the first big client we had was Bacardi.
Okay.
And so we ended up burning the Bacardi bat onto the outside of the coconut. I think you've interviewed Jackie Woodman of Bureau.
That's right.
We ended up burning the Infatuation
Wow.
onto coconuts when they were a brand new
Yeah.
blog
No, it was
back in
really
the
cool
day.
to hear her story. That was a cool one.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Shout out Jackie Woodman.
Shout out Jackie.
This is gonna be the most full of shout outs.
No, alright. We have a shout out counter.
Okay.
We'll have a little. Alright, so linking up with brands.
So we were linking up with brands. We ended up burning their logos on the outside, and then we matured from using a machete on the bridge to using the Coco Jack, which was this tool that like super easily opens the top of coconuts. And we would make cocktails at music festivals. We would bring 20,000 coconuts at a time in a container.
From Chinatown.
No, from Thailand. We ended up partnering with an organization in Thailand so that we could bring them over and get them burnt in Thailand in advance, or for short run things do over there. And then we would have a team of charismatic coconut people crack them open and mix cocktails on behalf of Captain Morgan, Ciroc, Bacardi.
Wow, that's awesome.
American Express was a major client of ours, the Marriott hotels, then a bunch of cruise ships out of Miami and all the resorts. We ended up being,
Alright, before we go deep, how does this all, you're kind of like winging it, and then you're getting the biggest brands. Like, how is this? Is this inbound? Is it outbound?
100% inbound.
Yeah.
Because we had no idea what outbound was at the time.
100. Was it social media? Like, was that the catalyst?
It was social media. It was social media. Actually, like, it was the social media of people posting the coconut photos, and then people reaching out to them and saying, "Where did you get that?" And they would connect it to us. Because when we were doing the big white labeled coconuts, didn't have our brand on it, right? Like, they were just, it was just the coconut. So they would ask, "Where did you get those?" And they would send it back to us. We had our
This guy's a media. He's an agile.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just agile, but like it's coconuts. He's an out-of-home guy. He's a media guy.
experiential marketing. That's
There
it.
we
That's
go.
right. Do music festivals ever get frustrated because that is a pretty difficult vessel to throw away? Like at the end of the festival, is it just flooded?
It's
Compost.
a great question. We worked with a lot of different compost organizations.
Mhm.
It is so challenging. Yes, the governor's ball, the first governor's ball we ever did, the coconuts didn't fit through the hole, and so there were
no.
mountains of
Well,
coconuts.
fortunately, biodegradable. I mean,
Yeah, they take a long
Yeah.
time to biodegrade. They take a long time to biodegrade. That's something like actually Royal Palms in Brooklyn had our coconuts back in the day, and they wanted to create a hydraulic press that you would like press a button and it would
Open it?
shatter your
shatter.
coconut, like turn it into.
good
Got it.
content.
Yeah, I know. Shout out Royal Palms.
Shout out Royal Palms. All right, so Coco and Co. Through which years is this playing out?
Yeah, that ends. So it ends with the pandemic. It
Okay.
still existed into 2021.
That was like almost a decade.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
So revenue generating.
Revenue
it's
generating,
going
fun.
profitable.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was a bit, but it was small. Like it was,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
so proud of what we had built.
So over this 10-year span, is Coco and Coconut your full-time job?
Coco and Co is my full-time job from probably like 2 years in through the pandemic. And then in the pandemic, I actually was consulting with a tech company in California
Okay.
that ended up when our business went under, like completely went upside down when the pandemic hit. I ended up taking a full-time job with this incredible pollination company, this bee company in California called Bee Hero.
Save the bees.
Save the bees. They're saving the bees.
Shout out bees.
Shout out Bee Hero. They're incredible. And so I ended up helping them. They're an Israeli-based company. Their whole tech team was in Israel, and they wanted to help kind of to benefit the almond pollination in California, which is a huge industry. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the business and the challenges around bringing in 5,000 trucks worth of bees into
Right.
the Central Valley for a couple months and then bringing them out because they need the insects to pollinate all of that almond. And so they created these amazing sensors that can actually monitor the beehives.
Yeah, I knew if it was Israeli backed, I knew it was going to be Internet of Things.
It's
bees.
very IoT.
Yeah.
B2B. B2B. They're incredible.
Not
and
the
so
first time you've said that
it
joke.
actually is the first time I've said that joke. It is the first time I've said that joke, and I'm embarrassed that I did not think of it before. But I helped them. Build out a sales team and a marketing team in the Central Valley.
Right.
Moved them from Palo Alto to Santa Cruz because shout out Santa Cruz,
Shout out Santa
best city. Shout out Santa Cruz. And we ended up we're now that organization. I'm not with them anymore, but still very much an advocate and a big fan of them. Ended up being now they're in some ways the biggest beekeeper on the planet with the bees that they pollinate. They expanded to Australia, and it's an incredible thing because at scale, being able to see the quality, the health of your queen, the health of your hive, the health of the pollen, makes it so much easier to be a really great beekeeper.
Right. Interesting. So you said that at the pandemic, Coco and Co. went completely under. Did you have employees? What's the SG&A?
We did. So we had teams of brand ambassadors at that point. And so it was mostly people who were event focused. Luke and I ran almost everything about the business. We had Nate, who did our design and did a lot of the art around other things that we're doing. But for the most part, it was brand ambassadors who were all contract based. But we ended up getting a PPP and being able to pay them salary for a while based on how long they were working with us. But it was hard. It was hard to have. We had so much loss at that moment because we had container loads of coconuts that were branded for American Express that were just literally rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the perishability of coconut?
So you get 8 weeks on a coconut from tree to service. After 8 weeks, they are not as delicious, and it takes 4 to 5 weeks to get them
that's
over.
What I asked, yeah.
And so we had 3 weeks on them when they were getting.
Yeah, got it. All right, now you're at tech world. We got Bee Hero. Shout out to the bees.
Yeah.
SUNBOY. How does it come together?
Stop number 2.
Stop number two. We made it. Okay.
It was a long stop.
It was a long stop one. I feel very rambly right now. I mean, a few Sunboys gets
perfect.
I know.
Gets you going.
I feel great.
So COVID hits, and we've been making. So COVID hits. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So COVID hits, and we've been making coconut cocktails for the better part of a decade.
Right.
We know that they're delicious.
Yeah.
We know that coconut water makes for an incredible mixer, and we know that it's what you'd reach for if you're feeling hungover, right? It's the drink
Absolutely.
you're going for. You're gonna drink
In
coconut water.
college, my roommate was a brand ambassador for a coconut water company. He would just, after a long night, he'd leave one next to everyone's bed.
What a sweetheart.
What a guy.
Sweetheart. What a
Shout out
guy.
Graham. Shout out Graham Winslow.
Shout out Graham.
Shout out Graham.
But not that coconut water.
No, we didn't know.
No, we're not shutting out that coconut water.
Sunboy only.
So we had all these coconuts that I just mentioned that were going bad
Yeah.
when the pandemic hit. We started thinking, what are we gonna do with it? We had all of these dreams of what we could do with our coconut sourcing. Like we're so
you're
intertwined. We're deep in the
Yeah.
coconut world, and we know the best coconuts on the world. We know how to make a good coconut cocktail, and so we start iterating on what it should be. And we worked with this incredible food scientist who, like, if anybody's in the CPG space in New York, do you know this guy, Andrei Arapatov?
Shout out
Andre. Genius guy. And we worked with him and started brainstorming like what we could do with our sources. And then we just realized that there's too much education to be had
Okay.
with launching a brand that is so dissimilar than what American palates are used to.
Sure.
American palates want something simple, not super sweet, but a little bit sweet. And so we were like, coconut water does that, right?
Right.
It's really easy. And so we ended up making SUNBOY, which is that same coconut water from Thailand. 5% alcohol, we make from organic sugarcane that we brew, lightly effervescent, so we've always tried not to be bloaty or bubbly like a seltzer. And then nothing artificial, no added sugar, vegan, gluten-free, super easy drinking. It took us 2 full years to formulate
Wow.
SUNBOY. But it's probably because we're obsessed. Like
Yeah.
we were so obsessed with the way a fresh coconut cocktail tastes.
Right.
And the idea of making a coconut cocktail that wasn't true to like cracking a delicious
Yeah,
fresh
yeah,
coconut
yeah.
and drinking on the Brooklyn Bridge all those years ago was like
Wow.
felt
What a story,
sacrilegious.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
So for those 2 years, were you still
That's-
working at?
Be Hero. So those 2 years I was working at Be Hero. Luke was primarily focused on building out SUNBOY. We had a lot of really supportive friends and family, fortunately,
Yeah.
and a lot of supportive fans of Coco & Co. of what we
Yeah.
had built before. So like people knew
Sure.
that we had the bona fides,
Yeah, yeah.
but we needed to actually make the drink. And with Andre's help, we were able to formulate the first flavor, which was passion fruit, and then grow from there. Now we have 7 flavors.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you said that. How's the what is the alcohol component?
It's organic sugarcane. So take pure organic sugarcane, and we brew it the way you brew a beer to about 17%, and then we cut it down with the coconut water to 5%.
Okay.
So super clean. You do not taste the alcohol at all in SUNBOY. The coconut water does a really good job. It's almost like noise canceling headphones.
Right.
Like you don't taste
Right.
the alcohol at all, and then the splash of juice on top gives it that little like brightness.
So my question, and something that I've always been curious about, is
Yeah.
that back in the day when like White Claw
Sure.
hit the shelves, like that was revolutionary, like a spiked seltzer
Yeah.
or a hard seltzer. And then when that happened, I was wondering, why is there not a beverage on the market that has actual hard liquor in it,
Yes.
which is now High Noon, right?
Correct.
And so what was the motivation behind not just putting a shot of vodka
Yeah.
in each can?
It's a great question.
And is it regulation based on where malt liquor can be, or malt
Distribution.
beverages?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. So it's we realized really early on that if you make cheap malt beverages like whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
brands that you
Sure.
may name,
Yeah.
that it,
We can burn them to the ground. They're not clients.
so you taste it. It tastes bad. It doesn't taste nice.
Yeah.
But there is this middle ground, an alcohol base, the one that we make, this like organic sugar brew, that you don't taste, that is clean, that doesn't give you that bad flavor, doesn't
Right.
give you a hangover in the same way as like a malted beverage, but doesn't get taxed and isn't regulated in the same way as
Yeah.
a spirit. So New York City, you'll see that you can't buy High Noon in most places, right?
Every 3-tier systems. I mean,
Yes, exactly. 3-tier system, but yeah, three-tier system, exactly. So you're in New York. We were really keen on getting our product into Whole Foods, really keen on getting our product into Trader Joe's, the bodegas in the city, and you're cut out of that
Yeah.
completely if you are a spirit-based drink. Our thought was we can make a drink that's better for you, that actually feels great to drink, that
Right.
doesn't have any of the funky flavors of malt, and still exist in the
Right.
bodega.
So could you make a malt beverage that's 40% alcohol and sell it in a bodega, and then inversely, if you had a vodka-based drink that was 1% alcohol, could that not go into bodega?
The second one, yes. You could not sell, if it's spirit-based, you cannot sell it in a bodega or a grocery store in New York City. Every single state is different,
Sure.
has different regulations around whether it's
crazy.
the way you make it, the amount of
Right.
alcohol. It's very, very dynamic. What's even crazier about it, which I feel like this is also tangent, but I'm going to go on it anyways. What's craziest about it is that people don't know. Like most people, you can ask any lawyer in any state about another state, and they'll have no idea.
Yeah.
Because it is so siloed,
Right.
and it's so much an opinion that the lawyer is giving you.
Right,
That
right.
like this is what we think we interpret the law to be
Right,
in
right.
that state.
Because I've definitely
it's-
seen High Noon in gas stations in other states.
Correct.
But yeah, definitely
Correct.
not here. I thought what you were going to say is that people don't know, like where they can find High Noon. They don't know that regulation.
People absolutely don't understand the regulations. People don't really understand the distinction, and for good reason. Like
Right.
there isn't much of a difference between a very good
yeah.
Right. And
sugar
I think
brew
it's-
and spirits.
Right. I think that it's very interesting that the trucks that High Noon wraps on their distributors, it says buy wherever you buy vodka. And so
They get it.
they get
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's clearly a problem, an education problem with
Correct.
with the consumer.
Correct.
All right, let's move into the rise of SUNBOY. So we've known you for years. I've seen the maturation arc play out in real time, and now we're on a ripper. But we weren't always on a ripper. So tell us about those early years, how it came to be, and then let's get into where it is today.
Yeah, I will say I love being an entrepreneur. I love owning SUNBOY. It's been a blast. When people ask me, should they start a beverage company or should they start their own?
Better ways to make money, for sure.
There are better ways to make
And
money.
that's just entrepreneurship generally.
That's
for
what,
what it's worth.
that's my point. It's
Yeah.
like if you want to be an entrepreneur, ask yourself 3 times over 3 months.
Do you like pain?
Yes. Do you want to know where your next check is coming from? Then you probably shouldn't do it. Yeah. So we launched SUNBOY. We made our first cans in late 2021,
Okay.
but we did not have distribution. We ended up getting distribution. We ended up like building out the model and the brand and the beverage. Ended up launching with Union Beer in New York City and Savannah. Shout out Union
Shout
Beer
out.
and Savannah Distributing in Georgia in March of 2023. So it took
Okay.
us quite a while
Yeah.
to build a foundation that was exciting enough around like how to sell this product.
What's that process look like? How do you get into a distributor?
So getting into distribution has changed dramatically over the last few decades. I take it as like talking to a lot of the old timers. It used to be a long, arduous like wooing process where the distributor would be wooing the brands and the brands would be like weighing their options. For us, it's been wow, ups and downs. Fortunately, we've been able to partner with some of the best distributors in the US, and it's been because we have a great liquid and a great internal team. But it is really about getting them to try the drink, teaching them the selling story, getting them excited about what we could potentially do, and the most important part of it, having a foundation of accounts that are already saying we want this product.
Right, yeah.
So we well, I don't want to skip ahead, but we've had a lot of luck building out the demand for the product and then moving step by step. We're not a celebrity-led brand. We're not a brand where we're just like blasting into a place. We are boots on the ground, getting people to try it, getting people to love it, getting people to really build their own personal brand story around SUNBOY and build an identity around drinking.
And what's that process look like? Are you doing like tasting events at liquor stores?
So it's been, first it's going out and teaching the distributor how to sell the drink. So it's spending time in the market, work with weeks at a time where every day you're waking up and you're literally like a door-to-door salesman.
Right.
Yeah, I have my cute little vintage SUNBOY cooler full of drinks, a massive cooler in the back of the car, constantly replenishing, and you're going from store to store hitting 10, 12, 15, 20 accounts in a day alongside the distributor. Then we have brand ambassadors in each area. With our experience with Coco & Co., we know how to run a great brand ambassador advocate program, and they're set up in stores around the country, pouring samples, making sure that we're giving to the accounts that are giving back to us. So like constantly assessing the viability of an account, the scale, the potential of account, and making sure that we're giving them sampling as an offering that they can then share with their consumers.
I know it's nuanced, I know it's complicated, but at the end of the day, it's a differentiated product, and I think if you're a retailer or a distributor, the goal is net new consumers in the door. And I feel like you're, whether it's first to market or just the best in class, you guys have really positioned such that, like, I don't know anyone doing this. Like, no, and I'm sure you do.
It's shocking,
but no one else does.
When we launched, we won Best New Beverage at Expo East. So we were at Expo. We won Best New Beverage. That's like, for anybody who doesn't know, it's natural foods. It's like a wellness food expo, and we won as an alcohol product, which is like pretty rare for the beverage category. And I remember someone from another coconut company coming up to me and saying, "We're gonna launch a boozy. We're gonna steal your idea. We're gonna make a boozy coconut water."
Just beat the shit out of them right there.
And they ended up partnering with Captain Morgan and making this super sweet, liquor-based cocktail, and it just did not do the things that SUNBOY does, which is it wasn't delicious, refreshing, hydrating, tasted artificial and sweet. And for us, it's like so important to be true to what a coconut cocktail actually is.
All that past experience coming in hot at the end.
For sure.
All right, so let's talk about SUNBOY today. You've unlocked incredible doors. You have great distribution partners. And it's been really fun just over the time I've known you to watch it kind of explode. So talk about SUNBOY in the modern era.
Yeah, so this year, I'm pleased to say we tripled last year. Thank you. Triple last year.
Shout out tripling.
In revenue in 2024. We're on track to triple again this year, which is amazing.
We got fresh fundraising.
We haven't announced it yet, so
we'll wait to drop it.
But we've had an incredible year, and a lot of that is thanks to an unbelievable team. So we've got I will say to anybody who's going to launch a entrepreneurial endeavor, really figure out what moves the needle with your distributors. We have an incredible chain team, and like focusing on someone who has that Rolodex, who has those relationships, and also knows how to fulfill the promises that we make correctly, changed the game for us. It gives us that foundation. So we're in 13 states. We just launched Southern California with the newly formed Sunset distributor, formerly Stone Distributing, and then the CBS Group, so Highmark and Pacific. Incredible distributor partners. We've been with them for a month, and it's already like the hockey stick in California is real. This product, it was made for California.
Santa Cruz.
Not in Santa Cruz yet.
All right, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. All SoCal.
Good lord.
What's the biggest challenge today?
The biggest challenge today is that we are tiny, and so much of what it is to build a beverage brand is relationship, is one-to-one connections, making sure that people feel taken care of, fulfilling the obligations that you have to each of the accounts. And it's me and 7 unbelievable sales people covering 13 states. And just Southern California is like 5 states. It's crazy. So we've got Florida, which is like, should be 4 different states. Like California also should be like 20. And so the biggest challenge for us is figuring out how to be everywhere all the time and to really show the love to the people who are showing love to us.
I can definitely see this like in the Florida Keys
Florida Keys
100%.
crush.
Yeah.
Crush.
All right, so last question, the different SKUs. What do we got?
So we've got 2 variety packs. Those are in all of the Trader Joe's, in all of our states, in all 13 states. Classic, which is like passion fruit, pineapple, tangerine, mango. Pineapple is in every one of our packs because it just is delicious and easy drinking. Coconut pineapple makes sense. Then we have the refresher pack, which has coconut, pineapple again, guava, and peach.
Okay.
And then individual cases that we do for on-premise. And on-premise for us, like bars, restaurants, venues,
Right.
music festivals. We're the exclusive cocktail of Central Park.
Awesome.
So like they absolutely crush with the pineapple and the coconut flavors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Yair, you ready for stop 3, the hot box?
Yes.
Here we
Rapid
go.
fire.
I'm gonna start. Give up email or give up Slack?
Give up email.
Cold
Slack-
plunge or hot tub?
Oh, I could not live without a hot tub. Cold plunge.
Sweet snacks or salty snacks?
Give up sweet snacks. Stick with salty.
Sampling in-store or influencer unboxing?
Sampling in store is my thing.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Canva or Figma?
I don't use either.
Winter or summer?
Are you kidding? Summer for life, man.
Protein or fiber?
Fiber.
Telepathy or teleportation?
Teleportation. Oh yeah.
Neat or messy?
Neat.
D2C or D2C? DTC or D2C?
DTC. Wait. I don't understand.
I don't think we've had anyone to answer these. The second one.
I don't understand. Okay.
There's a little bit of a micro. We're deep in the niche, but go ahead.
You're playing roulette. You putting it on red or black?
Red.
In-house or outsourced?
In-house always.
Board game or video game?
Board game.
Spotify podcast or Substack deep dive?
Spotify.
Beach house or ski house?
Beach house.
Work remote or return to office?
Office. All the way.
Sunrise or sunset?
Both.
Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok?
Instagram, TikTok. Honestly, begrudgingly, Instagram.
Pineapple pizza or candy corn?
Pineapple pizza, man.
Live music or DJ?
Live music always.
Advertisement or advertisement?
That was the D2C. D2C. It's D2C and advertisement.
Call, text, or audio notes?
Oh my god, don't ever leave me an audio message. Text me, please.
Yeah, you won't get a
Pretty
reply.
controversial. Give up bread or give up cheese for life?
Bread or cheese?
Yeah.
Give up cheese.
Are you doing air guitar or air drums?
Air drums. Real guitar.
Start early, leave late.
Leave late.
Trucks or billboards?
Trucks!
Good news or bad news first?
I don't think it matters.
Alright, well, the good and bad news is we've come to our final stop on the pod. Yeah, you've been such a great guest. We're so happy to have you on. Final stop on our route here is where can people find you? Where can they find SUNBOY?
Get SUNBOY at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Total Wine. Depends on the state that you live in, but you can always look at drinksunboy.com. We have a Find Us map that is up to date, real time, tells you exactly which SKU you can get. But really, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Total Wine, Lowe's, Harris Teeter's, Kroger, those are the spots.
Buy it now.
California, Southern California, we're coming at you. See you there.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
And that's
There
a
you
wrap on season 3.
Yes.
Season 3.
Yes. Drink SUNBOY.